But getting out to West Texas, my family and I have really grown to love the place. And both of our boys went to Texas Tech, got their degrees from Texas Tech. And as Chancellor Kent Hance used to say, I love Texas Tech because of that. Texas Tech has had challenges in the past, and the last couple of weeks have been no exception to that. And as I was trying to think through everything that's going on in the last day or two, I kept thinking about, of all things, a football game that I had seen when I was in college with a bunch of my buddies. And I can't even remember who was playing this football game, but this is what happened. The opposing team had gotten ahead in this football game. And the home team took the kickoff. There's just a few minutes left in the football game, and they had to make it all the way down the field to score and to win the game. And so they wound up taking the kickoff. They ran it out, and they got tackled at like the 5 or 10 yard line. And then the quarterback and the team got up, and they started kind of plowing ahead. And they got their first down, and they're like at the 20-25. And then, for some seemingly inexplicable reason, the quarterback of that team got pulled out by the coaches, and they put a new guy in. Well, once the crowd figured out what had happened, they were not very happy about everything. And they started booing and yelling and screaming. Some people were throwing stuff on the field. And the player himself, the quarterback himself, was over on the sidelines arguing with the coach. And the fellow that was put in was in a pretty precarious position because the crowd's upset, and they still only have a couple of minutes to get to the other end of the field. So they started doing their thing. I don't know what he said to them in their huddles, but they got to going. And they started kind of trudging down the field, and eventually, with just a little bit of time left, they punched it in, they got the touchdown, they won the football game. I don't know why it was they pulled that quarterback out. If I did know, I've forgotten. But I do know this. The only way that team wound up winning that football game was to focus on the goal line, not the sideline. And in our situation right now, this is what we have going on. We have, in our stands, 53,000 students that are all watching us in the tech system. We've got 300,000+ alumni in the stands that are watching us right now. We've got thousands of staff and faculty members that are watching us right now. We've got countless donors, we've got countless community members that are all watching to see what we're doing right now. And with our team, we've got a great team of people. We've got great presidents, we've got great support teams, we've got a great group of people doing this. But our focus on our side is 100% on the goal line. And the goal line for us is the upcoming legislative session. We've got some great priorities that we have to focus on. That's what it's about for us. We can't remain focused on the goal line if we're paying attention to yelling going on the sideline. If somebody's yelling, hey, did you hear this? Did you see this? We got to focus on the goal line. Time for us right now is of the essence because the legislative session is just around the corner. So our goal is to drive home our priorities as a system. We work very well with our Board of Regents. We love our Board of Regents. We've worked very well with them for years and years. We love our Chancellor. We love Bob Duncan. And we've worked very well with Chancellor Duncan over the years. And for me personally, I've got thanks for both of them. I've got thanks for the board for entrusting me with a role like this. I've got thanks to Bob Duncan for working and mentoring me over the last several years with the job that he's done in a tireless manner. We've got a lot of people to thank about this. Tech's been through a lot of things over the years. This is no different. But we are not going to be prepared for the legislative session if we, on our team, the people on the field, get pulled off to the side and bogged down in other things that don't matter to us right now for what we're trying to get done. So what are those priorities? We will charge relentlessly in this next session to get a school of medical dentistry for El Paso, for the Health Sciences Center there. Why? Because the people of this region desperately need our help. We will charge relentlessly to get a Texas Tech Mental Health Institute for TTU and for the Health Sciences Center. Why? Because the people of this region need our help desperately. And we will charge relentlessly to get a College of Veterinary Medicine in Amarillo for TTU. Why? Because the people of this region need it desperately, and they need our help to do that. So our goal is specific. We are not going to get bogged down in things going on. I know there are people up in the stands right now that are busy watching the sideline. They want to see the argument with the coaches and the quarterback. That's fine. That is not what we're doing on the field. And so our goal is to prepare for and drive home our legislative session starting in January. So with that, I'll channel my best Kent Hance one more time and say I love Texas Tech, as does our Board of Regents, as does our Chancellor. Well, I was first told that I was on a list about it Thursday before their meeting on Monday. And I got a call saying, we've got, I think it was a list of 12 names, and we're going to discuss them all, and on Monday then we're going to make a decision. Well, I will tell you this, all right, so when you talk about fundraising in general, one of the things that we do have, we got phenomenal people. And I'm talking about across the entire Texas Tech system. Everybody knows down at the university level exactly who the folks are that are natural supporters of the things they're wanting to do. And one of the things that we're wanting to make sure happens is that at that level, people are unleashed to go out and find funds. I'll tell you what I think about fundraising. Fundraising is about relationships with people, and it's about telling your story about what it is that you're doing. And then you're going to find people that will naturally buy into this story. They like what they hear with that. And they may be predisposed towards something because a family member had cancer. Or they may be predisposed towards something over at TTU because their brother had played baseball. And so what it is it's just letting people know what your story is so they can jump in and participate wherever they think it might make the most sense for them. And we've got great people down at the university level to do that. We've got a phenomenal team across the highway. We have a phenomenal team of people at the Health Sciences Center. I've been there for 8.5 years. The deans we have, the staff members that we have are tremendous. And so I've got people over there that I can really rely upon heavily to do things. And the way the schedules, we're trying to mesh the schedules right now. And so I'll be back and forth. The good news is between the offices, it's not very far.
Is this position something you'd want to consider permanently?
I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing tomorrow. I'll worry about the rest of that stuff later. We've got way too much in front of us right now that we got to digest. Thanks, though. Is that a vote of confidence? No, I'm kidding. Yeah. Just left his office. Bob Duncan's a dear friend of mine. And Bob Duncan is loved by people out here. He's done great things for the system. He's done great things for the state. He loves Texas Tech. Well, if you think about the work itself, actually before I came to the Health Sciences Center, one of the things that attracted me to that, one of the things that I think in some ways prepared me for that was I ran a very large multi-specialty clinic in Dallas. And once you get up to a certain level of the practice, it's the administrative stuff that you're having to do. And so if you talk about business, whether you've got an economy of 2 people or an economy of 100 people or 2,000 people or 20,000 people, certain principles of business apply regardless. And so I had come through at the Health Sciences, at the Cooper Clinic where I'd worked, during a really tough time during the recession. So there were a lot of things we had to do from a business perspective and from an economic perspective that actually got me prepared for the Health Sciences Center. Because when I started at the HSC, it was right during the big recession in the state of Texas. So the administrative part of this is really the skill set. It's not the medical part of it. So, well, I can tell you this, and I know there's a lot in the press, and there's a lot on social media. We have board members who love Texas Tech. We do, and we've all worked with them. We have a chancellor who loves Texas Tech. And there have been things that have happened with them that we're not privy to. But at the end of the day, everybody loves Texas Tech. And the fact of the matter is, it is too important for people west of I-35 for us not to play well together on our team. We've got way too many things at stake. And pick your university. Doesn't matter if it's Angelo State, HSC El Paso, HSC, or Tech. We have way too many things that are way too important for us to get bogged down in stuff like that.
And kind of going off that question, coming in at what people can call a pretty contentious time, do you feel like you have a little bit more responsibility on your plate? Or
well, my job always, and this is all the presidents, this is all the staff members, this is all the deans, our job is always to help paint a picture of who we are as an institution, as a system, as universities. You know, when I first moved out here, where I grew up looks like Atlanta, Georgia. So you get out here to West Texas, and there's two things you notice right off. One is the topography. And you notice that it's pretty flat and wide open. And when we bought our house down on the southwest side of town, former Chancellor Hance was coming to see our house, and I see this beautiful cotton field across the street from me, and Hance says, you know, that's going to be a problem. Why is the cotton field going to be a problem, Hance? Well, it's going to be a problem because when that south wind blows, all that dirt is going to be in your house. Well, he's from Dimmitt. He knew, he was right. However, here's the thing. It's that same topography that allows the dust to blow, that also gives us gorgeous, magnificent, big West Texas skies. And so you notice that, you realize that, but it takes a little time for that to kick in. The second thing that you notice is the people. The people out here are great. They work hard, they do their thing, they don't ask for accolades, they don't ask for attention. They just do their job, they do their thing. Our job, one of our jobs in this system, is to do everything we can to support them. And so that is incumbent upon everybody. Me, the board members, Chancellor Duncan, our deans, our presidents, our staff members, our faculty. That's incumbent upon all of us to help paint that picture for people about who we are and what it is that we do. So in answer to your question, is it a little more sensitive now? Sure. Is it any different for what we need to do? No, it's not.
All right, everyone good?
She's thinking. Go ahead.
Regent Francis wrote a letter to the editor today.
Right.
Seemed to imply that there was too much spending in the system office. Do you think it's bloated over here? Are you intending to make changes?
Well, let me answer that by telling you another story. There was a dude that lived about 400 years before Jesus named Socrates. And he's walking along the street one day, and a fella stopped him. This is an important story to listen to in case somebody wants to ask a similar question. He said, "Let me tell you, do you know what your student just did?" And Socrates said, "Well, no, but before you tell me what he did, let me ask you, have you put this story that you're about to tell me through the 3-filter test?" And the guy said, "Well, what's the 3-filter test?" And he goes, "Well, I'll tell you. The first filter is the filter of truth. Do you know 100%, absolutely, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that what you're about to tell me is true?" And the guy said, "Well, no, but everybody's talking about it." Okay. Well, the second filter is the filter of kindness. Is what you're about to tell me about that student kind? And the guy said, "Well, actually, no, it's pretty bad." He goes, "Well, then the third filter is necessity. Is what you're about to tell me something that I need to know to do the job that I'm going to do right now?" And the guy said, "Well, actually, no." And so, okay, so what you're telling me is you're not quite sure if it's true, it's not going to be nice, and it really ain't going to affect my day one way or the other. Don't tell me the story. So here's what that means for me right now. All the conversations that they've had at the system level with the Chancellor, we've not been privy to those. I've not looked at numbers and things like that with them. So I don't know exactly what's what right now, so I can't comment on that. I do know that on things like that, if I start commenting on things, whatever it's going to be, it won't be kind to somebody. And most importantly, I know that right now for what we have to do, it is not important. What I've got to be able to do is come in, go through everything with everybody on our team, including at the system level, because we've got just a very, very, very short window between now and January. And so it's going to take me a long time to figure out a lot of different things at the system level in conjunction with everybody at the university level. I need everybody working together on this because there's not a single one of us that's smarter than all of us. And we're all going to put our heads together. That's the best I can do. Well, I'd say the same thing. There are a lot of conversations that people are having about things that I wasn't privy to, the presidents weren't privy to. I don't know what was said. It is not going to impact what we need to do for the legislative session. And if somebody wants to ask questions about what's going on with all of that, they need to be asking the quarterback and the coaches on the sideline. They do not need to be asking the team on the field. We're the team on the field. That's what I'd tell them.